And this is The In Show. And I'm your host, Gus Summers. Good to be back with you today. That's right. We are broadcasting live from the Sunset Strip in the entertainment capital of the world, Hollywood, from our In Show studios. And we have a great in-studio guest, Mr. Phil Adkins. Phil, how are you there?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. I love the wonderful look. You got this this nice coat, this t-shirt, very modern, dapper.
I was trying to be, I guess maybe formal, but kind of relaxed at the same time. I didn't want to seem too uptight, but then I didn't want to seem like a slob either. So I kind of tried to improvise my wardrobe today.
Yeah, no, fantastic.
Thank you.
So was it because I'm a wardrobe kind of guy. I like jewelry, and I like, I have tons of shirts and coats, jackets. Do you spend the morning picking your clothes, or is it the night before thing? How's that?
Well, for today, it was the night before.
Oh, nice.
Yes, absolutely. But normally, no. I just, it's a morning thing. I get up and go to the closet, and whatever I feel I put on. But definitely for today, it was more so like a 2-day in advance type of thing. It wasn't like the night before. It was just like, I'm gonna be on Gus Summers. I have to look good.
Oh, wow. Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great. So, how many shirts and coats did you try on? Nice. They're all thrown on the bed and the chair and everything.
There were about 4. I had a gray one that I was thinking about maybe going with, but it was a little too, the coat, it was a little too long. I wanted something shorter. And then I started thinking about, well, it'll be hot in there, so it's also kind of thick. Maybe I want something thinner. And so I went through a good maybe 3 or 4 jackets. I really did.
Nice.
I really did. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's so bad. I overthink everything. That's like a serious problem I have to overcome.
No, you want to look your best. You want to put your best foot forward.
Yeah.
Especially in Hollywood.
Yeah.
When you go somewhere, you want to look your best or what have you. But what's funny, has it happened to you? I'll dress casually, and that's when you meet somebody, and they're dressed casually too.
Yeah.
Someone, whoever it is, a producer or whoever, and they're in jeans and a t-shirt just like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have lunch next week. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. You never know, but you definitely never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Yes.
And it's not necessarily the outfit or the clothes that make the individual. It's that individual's character. So I could be dressed like a homeless guy, or any guy could well, not necessarily like a homeless guy, but not so uptight. But if you talk to that person and you're able to engage that person in a conversation, and that conversation touches you, no matter how they're dressed at that time, you will remember that conversation. You'll remember the character of that individual. You won't necessarily be so focused on what they're wearing or what they're not wearing, if they're wearing jewelry and things like that. So it's good to look good. You want to be, I've always had the philosophy, you want to be as beautiful as you can be, and that's good, but I don't think that that's necessarily most important. What's most important is your heart and who you are as an individual, because that's going to build relationships, which are going to lead to either your success or your not success. But it's also something that when you get up in the morning and you look in the mirror, you'll know the type of person that you are. You'll know if you're a good person or you're not a good person. Maybe nobody else knows, because you can put on the act that you're good when you're trying to get something out of someone or whatsoever. But you'll know what you are, who you are.
Right.
So, but yeah,
I think that's a great point of view, especially being here in Hollywood, because everyone's trying to, put their best foot forward. And it reminds me of that old adage when it says, style over substance.
Yeah.
Oh, you look fantastic. So sit down now, and now tell me about you. Okay.
Yeah.
But then you get the flip side where it's like, okay, that's a little too much information. That's okay. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. And like in all things, moderation, right?
Yeah. Do everything in moderation. You don't want to do too much. You don't want to have too little. You just want to be balanced in moderation.
Very nice. you have many different guests on the show, and that seems to be a thread, with everyone. For you, where did you find that balance? Did you find that through family, friends, autodidactism? You learn from your own, just, as you matured and grew?
I think it's a combination of all of those.
Very
There's
nice.
certain things that my family and my friends and my reps have taught me, but at the same time, when you go out into the world is not perfect. The world is
Really?
yeah.
Really? You mean that's not fair?
It's really not.
Okay.
It's not balanced. So you have to learn to adapt to. There's certain situations that you can absolutely avoid. There's certain situations you could see it coming.
You're right.
I don't want that coming at me. I
Yes.
can go to the left or go to the right and duck.
Yes.
But then there are other situations that you get into where you're stuck and you have to deal with it, and you have to learn to adapt the best way that you can. And there's certain things that your friends, your family, I like to call all of that my team.
Okay.
There's certain things that my team can help me with. There's certain things that they can teach me. But then there are other things that they can't teach me. There are things that I have to learn on my own, that I have to learn by experience, by going through it, by overcoming to it, or sometimes submitting to it. Because there are certain things that you cannot overcome, you cannot dominate. You have to deal with it. You have to submit to it, and you have to take the blows, I guess. And you can't.
But do it your way.
Yeah, whatever way works for you. But you have
Right.
to. You have to find a way to take it. You have to find a way to deal with it. So I would say that it's been a combination of all those things, but it's also been a combination of my experience and maturity. Because the more you go through things, the more you learn, the more you mature, the more you can grow.
You bet.
And once you have another situation similar to that, you know how to deal with it, or you know how to avoid it. If you can't avoid it, you should. But if you can't avoid it, you have to deal with it, and you can bring that past experience to your current situation.
God,
And deal
beautiful.
with it.
Yeah, and that leads perfect into why you're here. You're an actor. Hey, look at that.
Yeah.
Now, drawing from all that for your personal self, do you also draw on that as an actor?
Yeah, absolutely. There's certain things, there's certain roles that you play where you identify with the character because you've been through certain situations. It may not be that exact situation, but you've been through something that is similar to what that character is going through. So you can use your personal experience, and it's even more. You get even more emotionally attached to that circumstance than if you made something up or you called on someone to help you with it. So absolutely, yeah.
Have you ever played a character where it was close to you? A similar situation. Have you ever needed to stop and say, "Whoa, I'm experiencing feelings I haven't felt or do not want to feel, and let me take a break and let me regroup." Have you ever played a character like that?
Yeah, actually I have. It's interesting because that's one of the beautiful things about the art is that when you're really into a character or you're playing a character that you identify with, and you are able to, it's going to be maybe difficult to understand, but you're able to become that character. There's certain characters that you're playing, but you don't really have anything in common with them. You're not really in touch with them. So you could do it, but you're not in tune with that character. But when you play a character that you're in tune with spiritually, and you become that character, that's the art right there. That's the beauty of acting right there, that you become that person. It's also kind of scary, because you do at some point have to pull back. You don't say, "Whoa, okay, I'm Phil. I'm not this guy." you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. I've been in a situation like that before. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of any of those? Well, matter of fact, there was a couple interesting. There's instances. There's a lot of them out there, but I always remember Jim Carrey played a movie. Played Andy Kaufman in a movie called Man in the Moon, and he's one of those actors that stays in character, like Jay Leno did in what's it called, the Dallas Buyers Club. He said he was that character. They said when they don't get out of that character. Well, what's funny about because I heard a little bit about Andy Kaufman, because I used to watch that TV show, Taxi, back in the day. And they said when he would come out of the dressing room, Judd Hirsch, Mary Lou Henner, Tony Danza were there, and they were, talking to him. And he said that he would do things, Jim Carrey, that only they knew Andy Kaufman would do. And he said when he was in character, he said it was eerie. He goes, because there were little mannerisms that were only particular to Andy Kaufman that Jim Carrey would do. And he said because the entire time he stayed as Andy Kaufman, he never got out of the character. So that's why I was curious. Everyone has those moments where they'll feel something.
Yeah.
Or it's like you were just saying, no, I'm not that character.
Yeah.
I'm Phil.
Yeah, there are a couple actors that behave that way. I think Daniel Day-Lewis is another one. He becomes his character. Like any character he plays, he portrays. Like
Gangs of New York,
Lincoln, Last of the Mohicans. Like
yeah, right.
he becomes that guy.
Right.
But it's it's difficult to do. The greats can do it. They isolate themselves. They put the work in. They develop that character. They immerse themselves in that type of environment, and they become that character. It's beautiful. It's hard. They make it look easy. The great people make it look easy, but it's not easy. It's not easy.
It's interesting if you haven't had a taste of what it takes to develop a project, especially as an actor. If you're just looking at a movie, that's bad acting. But once you get a taste and you get an understanding, and you look how hard it is to come across real, and then you look at TV shows or independent films, wow, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, they say that there are two types of acting. You either believe it or you don't.
Yes.
If you believe it, it's good acting.
Right.
If you don't believe it, it's bad acting. So.
I always say to myself when I'll see something, it's like, oh, you can cut them acting. Because there's always a moment where you can feel that they're trying.
See? Yeah, they're pushing.
Yeah.
We call that pushing when you're trying too hard.
Yes.
You just gotta, you have to trust that first you have to do the work. You have to develop your relationship to the other characters, what you want, what's keeping you from getting what you want, and then the action that you're going to use to attempt to get you what you want. But once you have all that in your mind, you have all that in your body, you know your character, you just have to let go. You have to trust that you have what it takes, and you live in the moment. You don't have to push, and I think that a lot of actors they get into that. I get into that sometimes, even myself. You don't have to do anything. You just have to trust that you did the work and let go and live in the moment, and that's enough. Nice. It really is.
Right.
But it's easier said than done. It's easier said than done because you feel like I have to do something. This isn't enough. But just the fact that you're in that mode in your mind, that you're thinking what you shouldn't be thinking anything. You should be feeling. You should be living in the moment. But just the fact that you're at that place in your mind shows that you're pushing.
Yes.
So it's hard to explain.
No,
I'm trying to be thorough.
No, that's fantastic because that's one of the aspects of the show is, when I bring someone on, a guest, it is about them, their projects, but how they do their craft. And everyone always has a story, and everyone always has at least a dozen, but I always say at least one nugget of gold that someone else can say, boy, there it is. That was my missing link. Now I know what I can do for my acting. And that's exactly what I'm hearing from you. The craft, the moment, being in that place.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. That's great. I've watched interviews with certain actors that I have a lot of respect for. Matt Damon, Brad Pitt, Will Smith. And I'm able to watch their interviews and I'm able to gain knowledge. Sometimes it's not in my craft. Sometimes it's in the business aspect. Sometimes it's self-confidence, because I think that in any business that you're in, it doesn't matter what it is. But in our field, being an actor, being a producer, being in Hollywood or attempting to be in Hollywood, you have so many obstacles. You're going to have people that, don't believe in you, that pretend that they believe in you, but they really don't. People are going to step on you. you're going to be promised things, and then those promises are not going to be delivered. It's a very, very competitive industry. It's cutthroat to a certain extent. But if you can find inspiration, if you can find hope, if you can constantly be inspired, maintain your confidence, keep working hard, be patient, build positive relationships, it'll happen for you. It will happen for you. But you need to be pushed. You need to be inspired. At least for me, I need to be inspired because I do get down at times, and I think that everyone gets down. I think that even the top celebrities, they get down about something. Nobody is always happy, joy. There's always something that upsets you, and you need to, I guess, recharge, if that's the right word. So I watch those guys, and I'm able to find something to recharge myself, something to keep me motivated, something to help me maintain my faith in myself. And I think that we all need that. So if I'm able to do that for somebody that's listening, or someone that I might meet at a party or on the street or whatsoever, if I'm able to give them anything that is able to help them recharge themselves and maintain their motivation for whatever their goal is. Maybe it's not acting, maybe they want to be a doctor, maybe they want to be a teacher, who knows, whatsoever it is they want to do. If I can give them motivation, if I can help them, then that's great. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Someone gleaning from your experience, going through the industry. and the unfortunate, not that it's unfortunate, just part of the business. It's never ending.
It's challenging work.
Always.
It's never ending, man. It really is. You're always trying to get to the next level. You're always trying to top yourself, and it becomes not so much competing against other people. I don't think that that's something that one should do. Although it's hard not to, because you see the success of other people, and you want that success. But it's more interesting to compete with yourself.
Very nice.
It's more interesting to, try to do better than you did on your last project.
Nice.
So I think that's something that artists should aim for. That's something that I aim for more times than I do not.
You're right.
But there are moments when I do get caught up and I'm looking at someone else and they're doing very well, and I'm like, man, I want to be doing that.
Well, sure.
Well, that's beautiful. But
I because you meet people,
yes,
and sometimes you meet them at the same plateau that you're at. Other people are above, below, and then all of a sudden, somebody, shoots up, and I always tell everyone, because I have people ask me, so and so, my friend, they got this big part, I wanted that part, or I've been doing this for a year and they've been doing it this long, and they already do it. And I said, well, there's a moment where it comes from envy to inspiration. Sure, it's like you were saying, I want that success, sure, but it can turn green at any moment. Don't let it. Hey, that's great. Okay, that's great for them. Hey, congratulations, fantastic. Your hard work is proving. That inspires me. It can be done.
Yeah,
it can
absolutely
be done.
And everyone has their own journey. Everyone has their own path. I think that you get what's meant for you. You get back what you put in. And in different ways. It may not be the way that you thought. Maybe some guy books, a big blockbuster movie. That was meant for him. Maybe one guy, his first audition, he books a lead role on a pilot. It was meant for him. That doesn't mean that that's not going to happen for another individual. They have to walk their own path. They have to go through their own trials and tribulations to get to that level.
Right.
Everyone's journey is different.
And that's wonderful, because right now, as you're saying that, Taxi, that TV show I was telling you about, Jeff Conway was his name was Bobby in the TV show, and he was the New York actor. And he had been acting for I don't know how many years, so he drove taxi at night to make money. And then some guy had just come in from Iowa or who knows where to be an actor in New York. So he took him in, and I'll help you, and I'll show him the ropes. That the next day he auditions for a big part, he lands it, and he's all. The whole show was how he was dealing with it.
That happens. That happens.
And
yes.
then what I remember seeing that, this was a while ago, and one of the things is, basically getting past the.
Yeah.
That's great for him. I'm not going to stop.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep going because that was his.
That was his. It was his. Yes.
And who cares if it takes you 5 years to get around the mountain, and it took the guy 1 year to go up and over. Each of you have had your moments because because how I always take it is, you don't know what he has gone through in his life to get to that moment. You're thinking he just got to New York one day and did it, but you don't know what he left behind. You don't know what he did, up to that moment.
Yeah, you got it.
And it's what I'm hearing from you.
Yeah.
Hey, that's great.
We all, I think we all go through that. We go through that too. It's someone that comes in for one day and gets
that's it.
a lead role. I mean, of course.
I can do it better.
I've been auditioned for years. Are you kidding me? Absolutely. You feel that tension, that frustration. It's not necessarily, you're happy for the guy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's what you want too.
Yeah, sure.
But it was his, be happy for him. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen for you. It just happens that it just may mean that, you have to do a little bit more to get to that point.
Right.
And you just continue on your path.
Right.
Yeah, but
that's
I
beautiful.
understand you feel that shot to the heart. You feel it, man.
What's funny, and it's not limited to just anyone who's up and coming. It's the same for those who are at who we consider have making it.
Well, yeah.
Because I wanted that role.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wanted to be the next action hero, or
absolutely. If if you're a name and you want to be an action hero and you're up against another name and this is like a $20 million payday, and you guys are it's down to you too, you're well established, you'll find another gig. It won't be a problem. You have other meetings, but you want that one. You wanted that one, and he gets it, and it's
like,
no hard feelings, it's no hard feelings, but you feel it,
What's funny is I'm gonna have I'll take a commercial break in a couple minutes. I heard this story. You've probably heard it too, about Lord of the Rings. Ian McKellen, Gandalf. He ended up getting the role, but they first went to Sean Connery.
Did they really?
They went.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they went to Sean Connery.
That would be interesting.
And they're saying, he made a huge mistake. I was always getting to Sean Connery, who's like one of my all-time favorites.
Awesome.
He's your favorite.
He's a legend.
Yeah, and he said they were going to pay him so much, but he was going to get on the back end, the percentage, like what everyone's been doing now. So he would have got paid, I don't know how many millions up front, and then a percentage. And they said the amount of money that the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, everything is making, he would have made around close to $500 million. Right?
What do you do at that point when you make that?
And he turned it down. He said, hey, I really don't understand the story, the script. I don't want it. So he turned it down. So I don't know what contract Ian McKellen has gotten, but people are saying he could have had $400 million or $500 million. This, that. And I always tell people, okay, wait a minute. Stop for a second. This is Sean Connery, who lives in the Bahamas, who's a millionaire, who's an icon, who can probably walk into any restaurant and not pay anything, who plays golf all day, and he's up, I'll pass on $500 million. But I'm Sean Connery.
Yeah.
What more do I need?
Yeah, I mean, once you get to his level,
who doesn't know his name? Who does not know him when they see him?
It's to the point where at some point, I mean, you don't audition anymore. You have people sending you their scripts. You know, I think that's every actor's dream. It's like, oh, I don't have to do this anymore. You know, I don't have to audition. I don't have to
I'm
go out.
retiring.
You know, they're sending me scripts. I say yes
say
or
no.
I say no. I don't even have to show up to the meeting and send my agent. You know, that's.
Isn't that fantastic?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And I tell you what, look, this is a guy. You're saying, well, 400 million. I go, yeah, because you're 20, 30. Oh, 400 million.
Yeah.
I've lived my life. I'm James Bond. You know, I walk into a room, people stop. You know, so inspiration.
Absolutely.
You know, instead of envy.
Yeah.
You know, wow. Because who's retired? Gene Hackman's retired. How can you retire? I'm done now.
I guess.
You know, isn't that fantastic?
Yeah, they get to that point where they've done everything they wanted to do.
And and he fishes all day.
Yeah, it's not necessarily about the monetary value, the monetary gain, because
No.
they already have that.
Right.
They have found, I guess, peace.
Yeah.
They did everything they wanted to do in the industry.
Isn't that fantastic? Isn't that
They
beautiful?
don't, yeah, it is. I think that's maybe the ultimate goal in life is to find peace.
Because you're at that place where, like you're saying, your friend or your someone you know gets that part or gets something. Applaud, wonderful, wonderful. And now they're at a different place where they still get applauds, but at the end, it's like, I'm done. I'm done. Isn't that fantastic?
It is.
Something to aspire to.
Yeah, it is.
Phil, I got to take a quick break, but you know, you're talented, dapper.
Thank you, sir.
We still got another segment to talk about your web series, your upcoming parts, all kinds of stuff. So, you know, again, you know, thanks for taking the time to come in.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Hey, well, this is Gus Summers, and you've been listening to The In Show. We have in-studio guest, Mr. Phil Adkins, and we've just been talking about some of his favorite actors, some of his personal philosophies, and, of course, we'll be talking to more of him in our next segment. So you hang in there. We'll be right back. And this is The In Show. And I'm your host, Gus Summers. It's good to be back with you today. That's right, we got a great in-studio guest, Mr. Phil Adkins. And we've been talking about some personal philosophies which you bring into your acting and such. I think it's fantastic. And that leads perfectly into what you do for a living.
Yes.
Because you're an actor. And I know you do a web series and you audition and you do so many things. Tell me what's going on right now with you.
Well, right now we just completed our first web series. I executively produced this one as well. It's called Among Friends. It stars me. It's directed by Andrew Galves. It also stars Stephanie Vogt. She was in Entourage, the TV show Entourage, and she was also on the TV show Strike Back. And it also stars Katie Dow, who was in the film Casting Couch. And pretty much what the web series is about, it's about three precious metal dealers. They deal in gold, and they develop a plan to steal the largest bar in North America. And as as they become closer to achieving that objective, they begin to betray each other. So there's a lot of different elements in here. There's a lot of things that will keep the audience intrigued. It has action, it has romance, it has some interesting twists and turns. It's a great web series. It's a great web series.
Now, what gave the inspiration for the web series? Was there something you read, saw?
Well, initially we started to develop the concept when gold had shot up. Pretty much. It was a couple years ago when the recession hit, and gold just skyrocketed. I think it went up double or triple in value. And we just developed the concept from that. What would be interesting? Something that has never been done before, because if you look at a lot of web series today, a lot of them, they're either comedies or they have a lot of romantic content. And so we wanted to do something different. We wanted to do something that was entertaining. It had to be entertaining, but at the same time we wanted it to be educational as well. And so we decided on the topic of gold, because this is something that nobody had done before. I don't know if it had ever crossed anyone's mind or anything like that, but we thought that this would be an interesting topic to go with. And so we sat down. It took us about 2 years, not quite 2 years, maybe a year and a half to get the script right, different rewrites and things like that, getting different opinions from different people. And once we got everything in order, we began to shoot. So that's
Nice.
where it came from.
So how many of you worked on the project? The whole cast, or just a few of the
You mean
cast
as far as the writing or
right,
acting?
developing.
It was just two people. It was myself, and then
Oh,
it was
okay.
the director, Andrew Grouse.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, we merged it together. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And did you already have an idea about gold? Did you have to go and find out, do research? And so?
I knew a little bit, but we did do some research. We did look at why gold is valued, why gold has always been valuable. It's something that's been around since the beginning of time. It's something that was used before they created cash.
Right.
They used gold. It comes from the core of the earth. It doesn't rust. What else? A lot of countries use gold as kind of an insurance policy to back their economies.
Right.
And it's traded and bought on the London bullion market. So gold is... There are a lot of good reasons, if you can, to get involved in gold.
Sure.
Is also, as far as investing, it's a long-term investment. Whenever there are times of war, times of crisis, a lot of investors will pull their money out of whatever they're invested in and put it into gold.
Right.
Because it's something that's been around since the beginning of time. It's something that's always dependable, and it's something that government and government corporations are highly interested in and support.
Yeah.
So
it's fascinating, isn't
yeah,
it?
it is. It's interesting. It's interesting. I didn't know that. I knew a little bit. I didn't know as much. I still don't think that I know a lot. I'm still sure that there are thousands of guys out there that know way more than
sure.
me.
Yeah, you
but
bet.
Gaining the little knowledge that I gained about gold, it was kind of blew my mind a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the whole concept about the largest bar. How'd you come up with that?
We just tried to make it kind of general. What if you and I were precious metal dealers and we dealt in gold and we wanted to pull a job, could we really, because gold bars weigh a lot,
Yeah.
So could we really get and it's just us three.
Correct.
We can't, we don't have any outsiders, because who can you trust? You can't really trust anyone. But apparently we couldn't trust each other either.
Yeah.
But what could we get? Gold coins, they're not, they're valuable, but they're not, not as valuable as a gold bar. Those things, I think they're like $500,000 each. I'm not sure, I could be wrong. But what would you get? What would you try to get? And so we kind of developed, it wouldn't be a bunch of bars, because how would we carry it? How would we transport it? So we came up with
a little mini.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so we came up with, what? Why don't we make it one gold bar, the largest, most valuable gold bar in North America, and go for that? And so that's where that concept came from.
Nice. So how much does it weigh, the one gold bar? What did you have it?
We did not have a weight.
Oh, okay.
So we probably should have went a little more in depth with the weight, but we didn't. But
You shove this in your pocket.
yeah. But the plot kind of centers around these guys developing the plan, and then betraying each other until one gets to the gold bar and gets the gold bar.
Okay.
So it kind of centered around their relationships, or lack thereof, apparently.
Yeah, right.
So,
yeah, of course.
But yeah.
That's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Style substance.
Yeah.
So how did you get to the casting process? How did that happen?
The casting process, we went off of tapes. My partner's manager, he helped us. We went through breakdown services. We went through Actors Access, and we casted the roles off tapes. We also looked at people that we knew that we thought may be right for the part, just actors that we knew that we interacted with, and we went off of that.
Okay.
So
they submitted their tapes, and then
we got 800 and something. Let's see if I remember. I believe it was 837 submissions, and we watched the tapes, and oh God, man, it was a lot of work.
Right.
And we watched the tapes, and then we had callbacks, and then we made our decision based off of that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So by that time you were okay. I think we got our cast. I think we got our story down, and then the next obstacle hit.
Yeah, I think the biggest obstacle with us was we wanted to shoot at one restaurant,
Okay.
and the day before we were scheduled to shoot there was a plumbing problem, and so we had to find another restaurant in 24 hours. that I'd say that was the biggest problem. Other than that, everything went smoothly.
Yes.
There weren't really any problems.
Any hiccups or anything?
No, not so. I mean, I was shocked because nothing ever goes as planned.
Right.
There's always something. There's always something that comes
Yes.
up, something that becomes an inconvenience. But I think that I'm very lucky because with this shoot, that was the only inconvenience. Everything else was.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was quick. Yeah, and about equipment, do you have did you rent your equipment? Did someone come in with their equipment? How did you?
Our cinematographer, his name was Tony Valentino. He came in. He had we shot it on a C300.
Okay.
So-
Oh, nice.
But yeah,
Okay. He had his sound equipment and everything.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Our sound guy, his name was Walter Marquez.
Okay.
So yeah, he had the sound. He had everything.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, everything went.
And how about lights? Ambient light or?
What kind of lighting did we use? I don't know that much about lighting.
Well, it's beautiful. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's just ambient light.
Yeah.
We got to shoot during the day.
We shot during the day at the different locations, and we had everything we needed. There were times where we did have a small additional lighting, and it went well. I don't know what kind of lighting it was, though. I'm sorry. I can't.
No, it's all right.
I probably should. It was
you
bright.
developed everything else.
It was bright. It looked good. It worked out. So yeah.
That's good. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And so, tell me about the episodes. How did you decide on how many episodes it was going to be and how long it was going to run and such?
Well, my partner had done a web series prior to this one. It's called Arcane, and when we were looking at different studios, different organizations that buy web series, we were looking at how they purchased them, and the ones that we looked at, they were purchasing series. They didn't really look seasons. I'm sorry,
Okay.
they weren't really looking at trailers or things like that, and so we thought that it would be best if we shot an entire season.
Oh, nice.
And if someone has the desire to pick it up, they can pick up that season. Or if they want us to shoot more, they're willing to aid us in financing the series to shoot more episodes. We can do that. We already have the content.
Right.
We have the complete content, so they can take a look at the content, purchase the entire content, and then decide what they want to do. If they want to buy it and do something else with it, or if they want to buy it and then have us make more episodes because they like what we have done with it, they can do that.
Right. Okay. So how many? Remind me again. How many episodes?
14 episodes.
14 episodes. Oh, okay.
The complete first season.
Nice. And where are you in the process now? Are you going to be going to season 2 or?
Well, right now, we're posting the episodes in different places. We're posting them on Facebook. The Facebook page is facebook.com/amongfriends2013. We're posting them on Twitter. The Twitter page is twitter.com/amongfriends2, and we're also posting them on YouTube. So you can go to YouTube and you can put in Among Friends episode 1 or episode 2, and you can check it out. We post episodes every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on the Facebook page, on the Twitter page, and on the YouTube.
Okay. Oh,
So, yeah.
nice.
You can check it out there. You can reach us there if you have any constructive criticism or any suggestions, or if you would just like to chat us up and see what.
Where we go from there?
Yeah.
Nice. That's fantastic. So, how long are the episodes?
The longest one I believe is 6 minutes. On average, they're about 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes.
Okay.
But the longest one we have, I believe it's like 6 minutes 45 seconds. But it'll keep you engaged. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Look at that. And there's so much opportunity now out there with technology, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. I've been learning that you have to be your own hero. You cannot count on somebody else to do something for you. And I think that I did that for a long time. I counted on auditions, getting callbacks, getting bookings. But at some point, you have to take control. You have to take account for your own life. And you have to become your own boss. And I think that with this, I've done that. With the next project, I will attempt to do that again. But I think that that's the best advice that I can give actors. you want to book. You want to get that huge role. You want to get that role that's going to give you that credibility, that's going to propel you to the next level. But also, you want to take control if that's not happening, or if you feel that it's taking too long to happen. You want to take control and create your own project, because if it's your own project, you can control what you do with it. You can control who you network it to. You can't control if they're going to accept it. You can't control that they're going to like it or want to sponsor it.
Sure.
But you could get it in front of the right people if you work hard, if you work smart, if you build relationships. You can do that, and that's what we're attempting to do. That's what we're doing right now.
Yes.
So I would say take control of your destiny. Carpe diem. Seize the day.
Seize the day.
Absolutely.
Nice. Carpe diem.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Because how many people, are waiting there and looking for that opportunity that never seems to come, and all they have to do is kind of push on the door a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard. It's not easy. It's hard. There are a lot of long hours involved. There are a lot of doing things again and again and again until you get it right. There are a lot of people that are going to tell you no for whatever reason.
Just because.
They don't like it. You're not in their circle. They only support this kind of content, or whatsoever, but you have to keep trying, you have to keep pushing.
Yes.
And something will happen. You don't know where it's going to come from.
Right.
You never know where it's going to come from. It could be the smallest person that you think is, but they could be friends with, the president. Who knows? You never know.
Right.
But
out of left field, sure.
One thing that I can guarantee is that if you quit, nothing will happen.
Right.
If you quit, you'll never have your day. You'll never have your opportunity. So you have to find a way to stay in it and pursue it. And something will happen. Something will happen.
Yeah. Look at that. Wonderful. Great. Great words of inspiration.
Thank
for
you.
everyone who's out there. Hey, keep at it. Mm-hmm. Keep at it. It's 2 words that are very ugly, and they're called hard work. That's about it. Keep at it. Keep at it.
You have to.
Okay.
Yeah, and you have to adapt.
Yeah.
I'd also say that adapt or die.
Yeah.
Because the industry is changing a lot.
Right.
Internet's picking up. They have Apple TVs now. I'm not that well educated on it because I'm always working.
Right.
So it's hard for me to keep up. But
sure.
Everything is changing. People are saying that soon DVDs are going to be out and everything is going to be just on demand.
Right.
Soon they're talking about eliminating movie theaters, and movies are just going to go straight to TV. So things are changing. Things are not going to be the way that they once were. And so as artists, you have to be an artist, but at the same time you have to be a businessman too. You have to understand the way that the industry is changing. So artistically, you want to be as sharp as you can be artistically. You want to be able to do whatever they throw at you. That's what a master is. A master is someone who can handle anything that you throw at them.
Right.
So you want to have that element, but at the same time, you want to be able to adapt as a businessman. And if your business is changing, like this one is changing, you want to be able to adapt to the way that it changes.
Very nice. Very nice. I think that's a great way to sum it up. Be adaptable and be ever changing. Phil, we reached the end of our show. We do want to give you a chance to mention any your Facebook, Twitter, personally there.
My Facebook is facebook.com/PhilIan1, and my Instagram is instagram.com/PhilAtkins91.
Wow.
So thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, great words of advice.
Thank you.
I think for anyone who is struggling out there. And you got your web series.
Yep.
And I know you got some projects coming up for this year.
Yeah, I have. After this web series is complete, I'm co-producing another one called STFU. It's called Sorry to Find You. It's the acronym doesn't mean the other one, but that's what everyone thinks it means.
Yeah, sure.
And we're going to start, that will be in production, and we're looking at late June, early July, and I'm doing that one with Joseph Teddy Garces and Jaime Ceballos. And that one is pretty much about this delusional paparazzi. It's a comedy. But
Okay.
it's about
It's
this
a comedy.
delusional paparazzi guy that goes around and he's confusing people for celebrities, and he's just
that's great.
He's
Just average people.
yeah,
Ah.
he's a wacko, man.
That's great.
But that's gonna be interesting. And then after that, I have a short film that's gonna be called 4 a.m. Gas Music Station, and it's kind of a faith-based film. It's about a young man who is dead and he doesn't know it.
Okay.
So that'll be very interesting.
Oh,
And,
fascinating. Okay.
That's
That's awesome.
That's what I got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's
So-
full plate, and then shopping everything around. And
yes. Looking at different film festivals, looking at different people to shop it to, things
Beautiful.
of that nature.
Beautiful. Phil, again, thanks for taking the time to come in. I also want to give a quick shout out to Liz Rodriguez.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Liz, she's the best. I love Liz.
She's a great friend of the
She's-
in shows,
yes.
and she's out there always, working hard for her clients and
Yeah.
everyone else. Fantastic, Phil. Again, congratulations, good luck, and
Thank you for having me.
applauds from us for all the success that you are having and are going to have.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Hey, well, this is Gus Summers, and you've been listening to the In Show. We had in-studio guest, Mr. Phil Adkins. Of course, you can visit him on Facebook and Instagram. You can just type in his name there, and I know he'll come up. So great thanks to him for taking the time to come into the show. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, Gus has left the building.